Top agents attract business. Meanwhile, what we see on average agents and agents that are maybe new is they chase business. We're going to talk today specifically about how you can attract agents through YouTube. We literally have the lady that wrote the book on this. Karin Carr's with us. Let's get right to it. Karin, I'm excited to talk to you today. This is one of those really one of those conversations I've really been looking forward to because I have loved everything you've been putting out. I mean, it's been so beneficial to me personally, to some of the agents that I work with, that I really am excited to share kind of your story and some of the expertise you have, so to speak, also with the audience today. So if you don't mind, if somebody doesn't know you, if you don't mind, share a little bit about your background, how you got into real estate and kind of what you do.
You bet. My name is Karin Carr. I am an agent in Savannah, Georgia. I got licensed in 2005 because my husband and I had just moved from Salt Lake City to Northern California. And it was still the height of the market. House prices were crazy. And I thought, I'll get my license. And if I just sell one house a month, I'll be making bank, because one house a month sounds like nothing, right? When you're a brand new agent, right. You don't know what you don't know. And so to me, that sounded like more than doable. So got my license. I found out that that was not all that realistic without, doing a ton of work. I kind of stumbled into REO listings. And then from end of 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all I did was REO listings. So it was wonderful because I did not have to prospect. I literally woke up to my email saying, you have a new listing, go get it. I remember there was one day when Aquin sent me 4 listings the same day. So my hair was on fire all of 2008, but I was making a ton of money. It was awesome. Life was good. And then in 2013, we decided to move cross country. And so I was in for a very rude awakening because I realized that I did not know how to prospect for business. All these years that I'd been a realtor, I had been handed business and I didn't know how to go out and find it myself.
So was that about the time you moved to Atlanta? Was that the move there? Was that move?
Oh, if only it was that move. I actually went to Hilton Head, South Carolina first. And that's where it was like, oh boy, I lived there for a year and I didn't sell a single house because I did not know what to do. Then we moved to Atlanta and I thought, great, now I get to do this all over again. I get to get licensed in now a third state. I still don't know what I'm doing. So I was doing all of the things, right? I was cold calling, I was door knocking, I was farming, I was posting on Craigslist, I was posting on Facebook, I was running ads, I was doing everything I could think of. And most of them were not working at all. They were costing me a ton of money or a ton of time, and they were not productive because they were either not scalable. I mean, if you're door knocking, you're out for 3 hours knocking on doors. When you get in your car and drive away, that's it. You're done. There's no more lead gen going on. You are done. And nobody wants to answer their door to a stranger anyway. So in the 3 hours that I was doing it, I would be lucky to have 3 conversations. And of those 3 conversations, were any of them in a position to move? Possibly, but usually not. So that was just 3 hours where I felt like it was wasted time.
Mm-hmm. Right. So you're doing all of these things. I mean, there's got to be a point where you're like, there's got to be a better way. Is this when you started looking at YouTube and video, and how did that first come about? How did you first be like, wait a minute, maybe I need to check this out?
Well, I did a Google search. How do I get leads off of Facebook? And I across a website hosting company who I hired to be my website provider. They're called Easy Agent Pro. And They had tons and tons of blog posts about writing blog posts. How do you attract people to your website with blogs so that you start ranking on the first page of Google organically? And so I got their website. I started doing everything that they said to do. That's where I learned what I know about SEO. Like that's where it came from. I started writing blog posts because I figured, hey, listen, I would rather write for an hour a day than call FSBOs any day of the week. And I felt like I was a decent writer. I would try to write in a very conversational manner that showed my sense of humor and that was interesting. And it started working. I started getting business from it, but it was very, very time consuming. It would take me a good week to write a 3,000 word blog post that was optimized, that had infographics in it, that had video embedded in it, and all those kind of things. So I thought, well, what if I just made a video instead? Because I could say 3,000 words in no time, and then we'll just throw it up on YouTube. So I totally stumbled into it out of sheer laziness. And because I had read something that said, if you embed the YouTube video in the blog post, it helps the blog post rank higher on YouTube. So I wasn't really thinking that people were going to find it on YouTube. I was really thinking that YouTube was a repository of the videos that I was going to then embed on my website.
Yeah. And so when you get, as you're doing that, obviously start getting a little bit of traction there. When was the first time you did a YouTube video where you were like, wait a minute, maybe there's something here, and it starts making you really dig into maybe finding out more about the SEO side for YouTube?
It wasn't until I had moved yet again. So went from Atlanta to Savannah, and that was in the Memorial Day weekend of 2017. And we were still unpacking boxes. We'd only been there maybe 5 days. And somebody called me and said, I found your YouTube channel. I've watched all of your videos. I feel like I know you already. We're selling our house in New York. We're moving to Georgia. Will you help us? And it was really that light bulb moment of ding, ding, ding. I feel like I know you already. And so the more questions I asked, this guy told me everything I wanted to know. What his motivation was, what his time frame was, what his budget was, the name of his children, the name of his dog, his wife got on the phone, like everything that I wanted to know. Unfortunately, I had just moved from Atlanta to Savannah, and they wanted to buy in Atlanta. So when I said, I can't help you because I now live 5 hours away, they were crushed. They were so disappointed that they weren't going to get to have me personally represent them. Now, think about that. How many times have you ever gotten an internet lead that was heartbroken that you could not personally open the door for them? That had never happened to me before, right?
It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, how this works. And I guess once you start having these things happen to you, and I know you've just dug in, I mean, literally written the book on this, as you begin to see all of these things begin to work and you started working these together, let's talk about a little bit about kind of that process of what makes YouTube so much stronger than other social medias? What are some of the things and the reasons why you're so focused on it? If you don't mind sharing that, because I'm with you. I don't think there's anything more powerful we can do. It literally acts like a filter for us. I mean, the people that my accent's going to bother, that I shouldn't be doing business with, it's going to filter them naturally. So, and it's going to find the people that are, as I call them, my people, that I'm supposed to be working with. So can you talk a little bit about YouTube versus some of the other social media or some of the other places that people can be advertising?
Oh my gosh, you are speaking my language. We are so on the same page. Well, the reason I love YouTube over other social media is that it's really a search engine, and it's owned by the biggest search engine in the world, Google. So when people say, let's sell our house and move to the beach, and they get online to do research, they are not doing that research on Facebook and Instagram, are they? They're doing it on Google. They are going to Google and doing a search, and your videos can abso-freaking-lutely show up on the first page of Google search results, because Google wants to show YouTube videos in the search results. Your Facebook Live does not show up on the first page of Google. Your Instagram videos do not show up in a Google search, but YouTube videos do. So if you're going to spend the time to make the video, put it where the eyeballs are, where the people are actually looking for it, not where they just stumble across it in their newsfeed. Like, they could be on Instagram and see your video, but that doesn't mean that they're thinking about buying or selling a house. But if they go to Google and they search and then they find your video, they wanted to see it. So now every single view on video is somebody that has the intent of moving. I would rather get 50 views than 3,000 views if all 50 people are in the position to move and they want to hire me for their services.
Yeah, so good, Karin. I mean, what I love too is the simplicity that you use. I know there's some specific tools. You talked about the number of people that are searching for things. Can you talk about, because I think some people get overwhelmed with, oh, well, I don't have this great camera. I don't have the lighting. I don't have the microphone, all these things. Can you talk about literally what it takes to get started, and maybe even talk a little bit about some of the tools to help you find who's searching for what it is that you're actually going to be posting?
Sure. Well, when it comes to equipment, I have extremely expensive high-end equipment. It looks like this. I mean, I literally started with my phone, right? It was I think I had a 6 Plus at the time, and then I got an 8 Plus, and now I have the iPhone 11, but it's just been my phone. And the camera in that phone is more than adequate for a YouTube video. What I'm talking to you on right now is a $60 webcam. I think it's pretty awesome. I like how it looks. It shoots in high def. It's great quality. The one in my computer is not that great. I have a Mac. You would think that it'd be a really good webcam, but it's not. It's not very good at all. So I bought a different webcam and I have it on a little tripod on my desk, and it's just there all the time. So when I'm doing these Zoom calls, I can have a decent camera, but I also film with it. So this morning I was filming. I said, okay, I'm going to make 3 videos back to back. I turn on my webcam, I turn on Zoom, and I just record it into Zoom. Done. Like, you can totally use very low budget stuff and it will be more than appropriate and adequate for YouTube. Now, I do have this beautiful fancy microphone. That is because it was my anniversary gift. My husband said, hey, our anniversary is coming up and we're on lockdown. Woohoo. What are we going to do? We can't go anywhere. So we're going to have a nice dinner at home. Yes, the kids are here. It's not going to be super romantic, but like, what do you want for a present? Do you want a ring? Do you want jewelry? Do you want clothes? Do you want a gift certificate to go to the spa when all of this craziness is over? And I said, what I want is a really good microphone. So I'm not sure how much this is. It's probably in the $200 range. It's a Rode Podcaster, but I knew I was going to get great use out of it. And hey, I'll write it off as a business expense. But before that, it was just one of the ones that clips onto your lapel. It's got a big long cord. It plugs into the headphones jack. It was probably $25. So I'm a huge advocate of start with what you have. And then once you start closing deals from this, like when you get a $7,000 commission check, can you go buy a decent microphone? Yes, you can.
Absolutely. And I will say this too, Karen. I mean, it really is just the basics, especially to get started with. What I love about what you teach, whether it be in the book or whether it be in your program, is how to identify what people are searching for. Can you talk a little bit about Keywords Everywhere, just some of the things that you do? And really, why don't we just do this? Let's just go through where you start with the search. Let's go from idea to publish, just a 30,000 foot view, quick overview of what that looks like, if you don't mind.
Sure. So let's say that you have the idea of people want to buy foreclosures. They think that they're going to get this huge deal. It's going to be pennies on the dollars. But is that really what it's like? Now, because that was my whole business back during the crash, was all selling bank foreclosures, I am intimately familiar with this topic. So last year, this was long before COVID, in 2019, summer of 2019, I had the idea of if you buy a foreclosure, what are you getting yourself into? And so I sat down and said, all right, I know what I will talk about in this video because I know the topic very well. Let's see what somebody is actually doing a Google search for. And you said Keywords Everywhere earlier, which is my favorite keyword research tool because it's super user-friendly and it's dirt cheap. It's $10 for 100,000 search credits. They do not have an affiliate program. Man, I wish they did, because I would be their #1 advocate. You go to keywordseverywhere.com, you pay your $10, you get the plugin for your browser. So now when you open up your browser and you do a Google search for buying a foreclosed home, it says this many people are looking for it on a monthly basis, and this is how hard it will be for you to rank in the search results. So I'm looking for something that gets a fair amount of volume, but low competition, because I don't want to rank on page 7. Like that joke of where's the best place to hide a dead body?
Right.
On the second page of Google, because no one will ever see it. They don't scroll past page 1 anymore. If you're not showing up on page 1, preferably at the top, they're just not going to see it. Mm-hmm. So now I know what the keyword is going to be. Okay, they are Googling the exact phrase, buying a foreclosed home. Like, is it buying a foreclosure? Is it buying a foreclosed home? Is it buying an REO property? What are they typing into the search bar? And I know that it's buying a foreclosed home. So now I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to make this video and I'm going to say buying a foreclosed home in like what I say in the video, and it's going to be in the description, and I'm probably going to put it in the title as well. Because my idea is that when they do that search and my video shows up and it has the exact phrase that they use, they're going to go, oh, that's exactly what I wanted to know. And they're going to
Right.
click on it and they're going to watch that video. So then
Absolutely.
it's simply, what am I going to say in the video that will make this interesting so that they will watch it as long as possible? And this is a whole skill in and of itself. I did not start out good at this. I was the deer in the headlights at the beginning. I
Mhm.
had no lighting and no camera and no sound, and everything was terrible, but you get better with practice. And so the more you practice it, and I love to watch other YouTube channels. I watch a woman that teaches you how to have chickens in your backyard. And I watch professional videographers and photographers, and I watch people that live in their RV full time. I watch all kinds of channels that have nothing to do with real estate because I want to get ideas for how do they hold my attention. Like there's a guy named Mark Rober who has millions and millions of subscribers. Rober. He did a video on building an obstacle course in his backyard for squirrels to keep them from stealing all of the food out of the bird feeder. It's like half an hour long. I watched the entire freaking video. I could not tear my eyes away from this video because it was so entertaining and funny. And so I'm thinking, how can I incorporate that kind of storytelling in my videos to make people want to watch longer? Because once they click on the video, if you don't hold their attention and they promptly leave, you're never going to get business from it. You've got to get them to watch the video as long as possible so that they can get to know, like, and trust you.
Absolutely. And Karen, I love the idea too, the way that you teach everybody from a standpoint of getting super local on these things. What are they searching for? So whatever that is. So if it's Savannah or whatever, when you're looking at those titles, a lot of people, I know that some of the things that I've seen, some of the videos that have done well that you've done, whether it be doing all the search word and the keyword searches to find the things that are buying signals, like what's the cost of living in Savannah? What's the, looking at certain neighborhoods versus, other neighborhoods. Some of those things, as far as topics, can you kind of give an idea? Obviously, they got to do their own research in their own area, but what are some of those things? And I love how you just don't focus on just getting it out to everybody. So what's the ideal number of searches, would you say, for a video?
If your channel is brand new, or if you've had your channel for a long time, but you have 5 subscribers and every video you make gets like 17 views, between 100 searches a month and 1,000 searches a month is a good volume, because you're a very small fish in a very, very, very large pond at this point. They're uploading like 500 hours of video every minute to YouTube.
Crazy.
It's insane. And since
Mhm.
COVID, it's probably doubled or tripled.
Right.
So you've got to go after keywords that are fairly small and would be easy to rank for, and then start ranking for them. And then you go after the ones that are a little bit more competitive. Now, you don't need to rank for, I don't know, is the housing market going to crash in 2021, which
Right.
probably a ton of people are searching for right now. And you're up
Mhm.
against major big YouTubers. You're up against Ryan Serhant and people like that,
Right.
right? So you can be going after things like, how much does it cost to live in Panama City Beach? What are the best neighborhoods that are within walking distance to the beach? How do I buy a property and then turn it into an Airbnb? And how do I manage it from across the country? Because I live in Tennessee. Like, you're trying to figure out what are very hyper local
Mhm.
topics. And I will tell you that on my own channel, like, I look at my analytics all the time. I'm constantly evaluating what is working, what is getting the most views, what do people watch the most, what resonates most with the viewers. It is all about what it's like living in our area.
That's exactly right.
Almost without exception, every single video that does well on our channel is living in Savannah, the pros and cons, moving to Savannah, how much does it cost to live in Savannah, things I wish I had known before I moved to Savannah. Our channel goes after people that are relocating to our area and they don't already know very much about Savannah. So they're online doing their research. We have a very specific focus. It started that we were trying to help military that were moving here to be stationed at Hunter Army Airfield. We started very, very, very small niche, like buyers in the military moving to Savannah and they want to buy their first house. That was our niche. And the channel exploded because we had a very, very, very narrow niche. People try to go broad, like, I'll talk about everything real estate on this channel. No, start small and then go broader rather than start broad and then narrow it down. It always works better if you start very narrow. We then expanded to not only people in the military, because we started getting people from New York that were retiring and said, I don't ever want to shovel my driveway again. I'm going to move to Savannah. They're not in the military. They're not being transferred here. They're just moving here because they want to. And that's okay. So we started very small. We broadened over time. But every video that we make for the channel has to appeal to our target audience. So I don't make videos about like, I don't just go interview random business owners to give information about, I don't know, like I'm trying to make it so that every video I put on my channel is something that the subscriber wants to see, because that's what the channel is about. That's what they signed up to see. And I'm trying to, like, I don't do yoga videos. I'm not a food blogger. I don't interview a ton of restaurant owners. I did a video once, like, where is the best place to get shrimp and grits in Savannah? Because that's kind of our local cuisine. They're like, we're known for low country boil and shrimp and grits.
Yeah.
So I said, if you're moving to Savannah, you're going to have to become acquainted with shrimp and grits. So that's how I tied it into the channel. It wasn't just like, hey, this is my favorite place to go get a fish taco, and I'm showing you this food truck on the corner. It was with a strategy of like why it was on that channel.
You know what's been fun, Karin, also for me with YouTube, and I kind of have watched you as well on this, is that if we do a post on Facebook, if we do a post on Instagram, we do that, it's gone. I mean, it's done. Whereas YouTube, these videos, especially over time, they begin to compound. So the videos, I would guess some of the videos you recorded a year ago are some of your best performing videos that are still generating leads every single month. And I've always wondered this, do you ever know which ones are really going to pop off, or does it surprise you sometimes the topics that you put out there that people are attracted to that actually generate those leads for you?
It's a combination of both. Like sometimes I think, oh, this one's going to be so good. And then it doesn't get any love at all. And then there are times where I'm like, I just need something to do this week and I'm out of ideas. And I throw up something that's not very well planned out and it will do extremely well. And then there are the ones where I spend so much time planning it and researching it and making it the best that it can possibly be. And then it does explode. So it's kind of all of those things. Sometimes you're just shocked, like, why did this do so well? I don't know. But if you spend a lot of time planning it and doing the keyword research and learning what your audience wants to see more of, and your analytics will tell you that. I mean, analytics are the greatest thing in the YouTube backend ever, because you can go in there and say, which videos do people click on the most? Which ones do they watch most frequently? Which ones do they watch all the way till the end? And then they click on the next video in the end screen. Which one do they share and they save to a playlist? Here's my favorite one is which one do they click on and then they subscribe to your channel after they click on it. I did a live stream on my other channel. I have a channel just for real estate agents that want to learn how to do this stuff. And quite frankly, I did the live stream because I was so busy that week. I did not have time to do a pre-recorded video. So I said, I'm just going to go live. I had 500 people on live with me and it's now had 7,000 views. But more importantly, it's brought me 75 new subscribers in a week. So it's like, whoa, okay. Was it because it was live or was it because it was a topic that so many people wanted to know about? Right. So you go and you start reading the comments and seeing what people are saying. And that gives you ideas for future video content.
Karin, you know what I love? I love the fact that this is not something you're speaking on in theory, that you are speaking from experience. I know as we were getting ready to prepare for this, you mentioned that your business is just exploding right now. And it's such an exciting time. So what I really love is I love being around people that are sharing in a way that just helps. One of the things that is been very helpful for me is your Facebook group, where there's such collaboration, to hear other people succeeding, to see agents that are getting their first leads, to see agents that are building their business in the right way. I just want to say thank you for that. And then if someone is curious about how to find more information, we'll have links below in the show notes, or if you're watching this on YouTube, in the description, on the program, on the Facebook group, on getting in touch with Karin, all of those things. But Karin, what's the best way for somebody to reach out to you or to find you if they want to get more information?
Well, our free Facebook group is called YouTube for Real Estate Agents. I think we have about 12,000 people in there now. So feel free to go join it. It's awesome. If you want to follow me on my YouTube channel, it's just Karin Carr. So youtube.com/Karin Carr. Karin is with an I. Thank you, Mom. Although at least now, like my kids are always going, thank you, Karin. You want to talk to the manager? And I'm like, hey, that's not me. My name is not spelled that way. And then my website is youtubeforagents.com. I've got tons of free resources on there. Like I've got a starter kit that you can download to help you get started with turning your YouTube channel into a lead generating machine, because it really is. My team is averaging about 5 leads a day. And they all say the same thing. I found you on YouTube. They're so entertaining, but they're really, really helpful. We would love for you to help us, whether they're selling, whether they're buying, whether they're moving here from out of town. It's been amazing. So my team has grown to 4 people, all because of YouTube. And I am actively hiring more like back end. I need a video production manager who can manage this entire video production part of it. I need a project manager. I need somebody to train all my new hires. Like we are building this into a huge business, 110% because of YouTube. Isn't that crazy? That it's all because of YouTube, because I don't run ads. Like this is
amazing.
organic.
And I mean, I just think you do it the right way. So just want to say thanks. Listen, guys, I know you got some value out of this. Reach out to Karin and let her know how much you appreciate it. I hope it's been helpful. Let us know if there's anything we can do to help, and we'll talk to you guys soon.